Just like in the previous week, a lot of hot and trending soccer stories happened in our beloved Atlanta, Georgia. We are happy and proud to welcome you to your favorite online soccer show, Atlanta Soccer News Weekly Report. Let's start the week on a good note as Stian Gregersen, the center back, chose Saturday night at Mercedes-Benz Stadium to be his first professional two-goal game. In the second half, Atlanta United shocked the reigning MLS Cup winner Columbus Crew with a come-from-behind 2-1 victory, which included the first goal he had ever scored for the team. Atlanta United's victory comes at the conclusion of back-to-back home games. With the outcome on Saturday, the team concludes its two-game home stand with 4 points before the League Cup break. Earlier this week, Atlanta United and New York City FC battled to a draw. "I think they could feel the moment," said interim head coach Rob Valentino in his post-match press conference. "They dug in and they did the work to get a result. It's the first time we've come back down a goal and won the game, so that's a real positive." In an attempt to duplicate their impressive performance from Wednesday, when they scored the fastest goal in club history just 21 seconds into the game, Atlanta United launched an early offensive on Saturday. This time, Bartosz Slis headed on a pass that Brooks Lennon had served into the area, but Columbus goalkeeper Nicholas Hagen was equal to the first shot of the game. In the third minute, Cucho followed it up with a well-struck long-range attempt for Columbus that went over the goal. Early in the first half, Atlanta United was making inroads and creating opportunities with several well-placed long passes. Lennon gave the ball to Jamal Thayer first in the 7th minute. Thayer received the start on Saturday. The Senegalese striker set up Zan Silva for a goal with a hard shot that was on target. Hagen blocked the shot, but Thayer was there to grab the rebound. After a contact with Thayer inside the box that prompted a whistle, it looked as though the goalkeeper would be called for a foul, but in the end, the flag was raised. It was declared that Atlanta was offside. The equalizer in the second half was textbook, to the point where Atlanta United set up Gregersen for the game-winning goal in the 76th minute. Once more, on a Lobjanid's corner kick, Hagen was frozen to the place as the center-back skied for a header with such speed. With a red card ban keeping him out of Wednesday's encounter against NYCFC, Gregersen made a major comeback to the starting lineup against Columbus. This season, his brace was the 4th for an Atlanta United player. The Norwegian responded to the scream of the fans with a joyous gesture to 17th in the Gulch after his second goal broke the tie. On Tuesday, we learned that during the next 2.5 weeks, Caleb Wiley's top goal is to win an Olympic medal in Paris. The American defender is already set to join Chelsea in the Premier League, but he has his sights set on another goal. "We're going to fight for a medal," Wiley stated to the Associated Press. "And I have full belief that we're going to do it." The men's team from the United States will compete in an Olympic game for the first time since 2008. On Wednesday, it will play host and tournament favorite France in Marseille. After completing his $11 million transfer from Atlanta United FC to the two-time Champions League winner on Monday, the 19-year-old Wiley is expected to get more attention from Chelsea supporters, at the very least. As the United States is ready to return to the Olympics, the left-back claimed he has been besieged with messages since the announcement and has not been able to respond to them all. But while the trade was being worked out, months after he was first aware of Chelsea's interest, he claimed that the Olympics had helped divert his attention from the biggest move of his career rather than detracting from the games. "I think for me the most important thing was staying present. It's been an ongoing thing for a while now, for a few months," Wiley said. "Just knowing where I was, staying focused with Atlanta at the time and then now with the Olympics has helped me kind of just be in the moment. I think it's important to enjoy it first. You know, this doesn't happen to too many kids, and so I think you need to embrace the feeling." On Wednesday, at the historic Crew Stadium in Columbus, Ohio, the East team overcame a 2-goal deficit to triumph 4-2 versus the West in the third installment of the MLS Next All-Star Game. Kevin Sullivan, a native of the Philadelphia Union, was voted the game's most valuable player after becoming the youngest player in Major League sports history to make his debut last week. Sullivan scored the game-winning goal and added an assist. In the 12th minute, Anthony Boyajian of Albion SC LA scored a goal off a ball from Liam McKenzie of Vancouver Whitecaps FC, giving the West team their first ever goal in the All-Star Games history. Boyajian is the first player from an MLS Next Elite Academy. 2 minutes later, Skylar Kaplan of Strikers FC, another product of the Elite Academy, doubled the score after his amazing volley was saved at close range and he finished off the rebound for the goal. The East All-Stars took the lead in the 19th minute when DC native Nelson Hernandez scored. United moved into space and gave the West goalie a chip. The 14-year-old Union wonder Kevin Sullivan made the difference in the 77th minute when the game was still in play by drawing a penalty and scoring from the spot. Sullivan snatched the ball near midfield and found FC Cincinnati forward Stefan Chirila rushing toward the goalkeeper as the West side pushed forward for an equalizer. Chirila, the 2023-24 MLS Next MVP presented by Adidas, U17, in the regular season, finished the game with a 4-2 triumph after dribbling past a defender and finding the corner of the net. On Thursday, in the program's eagerly anticipated return to the competition, the U.S. Olympic men's soccer team couldn't have gotten a tougher job. And in their Group A opener on Wednesday in Marseille, the Americans and the highly anticipated French squared off for an hour. But in front of a sold-out crowd of 67,000 at the Stade Velodrome, Les Bleus finally broke through and won 3-0, led by experienced captain Alexander Lacazette. 2 days before to the opening ceremonies in Paris, the 2024 Olympic men's soccer tournament got underway, with the United States participating for the first time since 2008. The last time the American men appeared on the Olympic stage was 5,824 days ago. And in spite of the circumstances and the opponent's standing, they were by no means intimidated on Wednesday. The United States played strong defense and had 2 near misses for the lead. However, just after the hour, Lacazette, who was the oldest player on the field at 33, men's Olympic teams are allowed to have 3 players older than 23, broke the stalemate. Within 10 minutes, he fed fellow countryman Michael Ollis for France's crucial second. Wednesday's event started off quietly, which suited the U.S. The Americans stayed fast and the noise inside the velodrome subsided as France passed and investigated. Les Bleus dominated possession of the ball in the first half, but they hardly presented a threat and didn't make Patrick Schulte, the American goalie, save anything until the 35th minute. Wednesday's event started off quietly, which suited the U.S. The Americans stayed fast and the noise inside the velodrome subsided as France passed and investigated. Les Bleus dominated possession of the ball in the first half, but they hardly presented a threat and didn't make Patrick Schulte, the American goalie, save anything until the 35th minute. 2 of the 3 players overage for the USA, center-backs Miles Robinson and Walker Zimmerman, were particularly strong. Little was created by France's 13 total crosses and 5 corner kicks in the first half. American midfielders Tanner Tessman and Gianluca Buggio, who are teammates at the recently promoted Serie A team Venezia, did a good job of containing the French playmaker Ollis and slowing down the opposition's attack. It turned out that American winger Paxton Aronson had produced the finest opportunity of the first half. With a deft touch past defender Kylian Sildilia in the 38th minute, he broke free inside the French penalty area. Goalkeeper Guillaume Restes had to kick away a low attempt he took toward the left post. The third-man overage in the lineup, midfielder George Mihailovic, had a long-range attempt that struck the French crossbar, but the visitors were once again on the verge of breaking the deadlock in the 59th minute. The action at last gained momentum, with the game's veteran player putting the favorites ahead in the 61st minute. The 33-year-old forward for Olympique Lyon and Arsenal, Lacazette, spotted a little opening in midfield and beat Schulte to the left. Not one to back down, the Americans launched their most prolonged offensive run of the match a few minutes later, almost bringing the score to even. However, Restes made a great save to stop Aronson's header in the 63rd minute after Kevin Paredes crossed the ball, and a few seconds later, American left-back John Tolkien slammed the left post with his own header after another Paredes cross. Then, in the 69th, France sealed the victory. Alice, an attacker from London who recently joined Bayern Munich from Crystal Palace, caused the most damage with a curling shot that was positioned just outside the US penalty area. With his header from a corner kick, centre-back Loic Bade, who plays club soccer for Sevilla, provided a French exclamation point to make it 3-0 in the 85th minute. Griffinhão, an American replacement who netted a goal late in the friendly match between the two sides in March, scored again on Wednesday, but his stoppage time marker was called for offside. There are 16 countries competing in 4 groups of 4 at the Olympic competition. After a round robin, the top 2 finishers in each quartet advance to the quarterfinals. In the other Group A encounter on Wednesday, New Zealand triumphed 2-1 over Guinea. For a pivotal match against New Zealand on Saturday, July 27, 1 p.m. Eastern Time on USA Network, Telemundo, and Peacock, the USA will be back in Marseille. On Friday, we end the week on a good note as the U.S. women's national team had a great start at the 2024 Paris Olympics, defeating Zambia 3-0 in the south of France. The USA dominated the first half and came away with 3 points thanks to goals from forwards Mallory Swanson and Trinity Rodman, both of whom scored skillfully in the last 70 seconds. With 2 assists, Captain Lindsey Horan led the young Americans to a strong first-half performance. The USA restricted Zambia to only 3 efforts on goal, all of which came from sporadic raids in the second half, while goalkeeper Alyssa Nair recorded her 3rd shutout in the previous 3 games. Hayes fielded the program's youngest starting 11, 27.4 years, at a Women's World Cup or Olympic competition since the Beijing Games in 2008, meaning 7 players made their Olympic debut. As of right now, the USWNT has won its first 6 of its 8 Olympic tournament starts. 12 countries compete in 3 groups of 4 in 2024. The 2 best third-place finishers and the top 2 teams in each quartet after the group stage round robin will move on to the quarterfinals on August 3. Germany, the 2-time champion and gold medalist from the 2016 Olympics, and Australia, a semi-finalist in the 2023 Women's World Cup, are also included in the USA's Group B. Australia was easily defeated by the Germans earlier on Thursday, 3-0, arranging a matchup at the top of the group in Marseille on Sunday. Despite being ranked 64th in the world when they arrived in France, Zambia was expected to provide a challenge beyond their ranking. The Copper Queens, who are competing in both the 2021 Olympic Games and the 2023 Women's World Cup, have quickly progressed, moving up 39 spots in FIFA's standings in just the last 2 years. They took home the bronze at the 2022 Women's Africa Cup of Nations in between. 2 of the most expensive players in women's tennis history have also come from Zambia. New records were set by Rachel Kundananji signing with Bay FC and Barbara Bonda moving to the Orlando Pride before to the 2024 NWSL season. It's a wrap. Thank you so much for watching, guys. Make it a habit to watch out weekly report and soccer stories posted on our website at https://atlantasoccer.news. Until next time, adios.